So one of the examples from this book, which applies to relationships with men as well, but when you have a child, you just see how profound this works, is don't give men unsolicited advice. Don't give children unsolicited advice. Don't tell them what to do. Our audience is more mature women, but you also have daughters often, and they're raising little children right now. And I recommend to everybody, get the book for your kids to raise their children called Hunt, Gather, Parent. Hunt, Gather, Parent. You know, I've written my book, which is Children from Heaven. I think it's the best book on parenting till I read this book. It doesn't contradict my book. It's still good stuff, but this book is so amazing, particularly for little children. But the ideas work all the way. And my daughter, Lauren, who is applying these things to her little 2.5-year-old, she says, you know, this has made me such a better wife because all these techniques for your child actually work with men. And one of them is don't give your children unsolicited advice. And don't talk so much. And don't say, look at this, look at that, do this, do this. Their brain is developing all on its own. They're going to look where they want to go. They're going to go where they want to go. They're absorbing everything. You don't talk so much to your children. And when the child cries, gets upset, don't say anything. Hold them in your arms and just walk out in nature. And just look at the flowers, look at the sky, look at something beautiful. And they will calm down. Don't put any attention on the upset other than they'll cry, reach out. You hold them in your arms. You don't use logic. You don't try to talk them out of their feelings. You train them in how to naturally come back to center, that everything's okay, by simply not talking and resonating with nature. Because almost anything you say to a child when they're crying or upset is telling them not to be upset. So you're just giving the message, don't be where you are. Instead of what you need when you're upset is to feel my love, my connection, and for us to go somewhere where we're resonating that's peaceful and beautiful. And the child learns how to quietly, on their own, come back to center. And we can rewire our brains as adults. When a woman's upset, I hear you, and let there be silence for a while. Now, if you're just silent, what happens is a man's feeling inside, I have to defend myself because I haven't done something to make her feel better or to correct her or make it, because he has to feel I'm doing something that you've asked him to do to solve the problem. We always want to solve the problem. And if we can do something to solve the problem, and we heard you have a need, our mirror cells will start opening. We can feel some compassion. Otherwise, we will feel defensive. So this is profound information. I think it can change people's lives.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like this book, I was thinking as you were talking, I'm like, we're all still children inside in so many ways, right?
Yes.
We are in so many ways. We're still so childlike. And so it does sound like the book that you're recommending there could work for relationships, for people. I mean, children are little people. They're small people. They're small human beings, and we're all, I look at myself or I look at others sometimes and I'm like, we're still all children inside in so many ways.
Well, we want to be in touch with our child, but we also want to be a grown-up.
Right.
And we want to integrate all these parts of the brain, which is what happens one of the differences that happens for males at puberty, we're all like little girls in terms of estrogen. But at puberty, little boys, 20 times more testosterone, a surge. And for little girls, a huge amount of estrogen when they start having their period. So we shift from that place of innocence and purity. And, we're just sort of bathing in the perfection of life to the extent that our parents can create a non-stressed environment. And what the research shows is that children's brains, most children's brains shrink. Not all children's brains shrink as they get older. It's how you raise your children. If you do the thinking for your children, their brain starts to shrink. This is what's happened in the school system as well, is we teach children what they should remember rather than teaching them how to think. So telling children what to do, they become good little soldiers following orders, will actually cause the brain to shrink because now they're no longer thinking what's the best thing to do. So one of the examples from this book, which applies to relationships with men as well, is, of course, I already wrote that one in Men Are From Mars, but when you have a child, you just see how profound this works, is Don't give men unsolicited advice. Don't give children unsolicited advice. Don't tell them what to do. Give them opportunities to where they're curious and what is available to them. And it's a lengthy book. And my daughter says nobody will get it unless you read it 3 times. That might be true of Men Are From Mars as well. You can't really fully get it unless you read it again and again, and you practice it and you realize the many ways you forget to do it. But for women, with a child, here's an example of telling a children, having them decide what to do. So I'm at her house, and this is a baby who's like, I think 1.5 years old at that point. And she's exploring, she's reaching out, and she's at a drawer, and she's moving the drawer in and out. And immediately I want to say, oh, don't do that, it will pinch your finger. Okay, don't do that, it will pinch your finger. What Lauren would do from the book is she just simply says, if you do that, it will pinch your finger, and then look away. And now they're left to decide on their own. If you look at them, if you do that, it will pinch your finger, and you look at them, they'll still do it. But if you say, first of all, they're going to make the decision, okay, to do it, make a change. So you said, if you do that, it will hurt your finger. It will hurt a lot, and then look away. And it's up to them to decide. Now you sort of glance to make sure if it was something dangerous, you would be more attentive. Otherwise, you just look away. Now you're up to deciding. We're going for walks. If she starts to walk into the street, I say, if you go into the street, you can get hit by a car. That will hurt a lot. And she'll walk back to the curb and go, and then you just look away. So they get to decide on their own. They're using their developmental thinking of making decisions on their own. This is at 1 year old. This is at 2 years old. This is a child who basically, the other major thing is not all parents can do this, but whenever you're with your children, let them do adult things. Don't just have them play games and whatever. That can be a small part of their life. But have them, if you're folding laundry, they should be folding laundry with you. When you're bringing the groceries into the store, you hand them something to carry. So they're feeling they're doing big people's things all the time. This child at 2 years old will she'll notice my shoes and put them in the right place. She'll see dirty laundry and put it into the dryer or into the washing machine, or take it out of put it into the hamper. I mean, it's amazing. From this book, they study children who always participate in family chores with no resistance. They're great joy. They're so happy to do what parents do. It's like with me, Grandpa, we always, do the machine to make the lettuce, to dry the lettuce for dinner. Whenever they're making dinner, she's always a part of the dinner, making the process, just giving her something. And they don't know that they're not having any meaningful effect. They just see they're part of the group. And sometimes she's talking and I don't understand what she says. And Lauren says, it doesn't even matter if you understand all the time. She's just doing what we're all doing. just continue on. They just want to be part of the whole. And the more they can be part of you, the more they can absorb you in a positive way. Be part of is a very profound need that we have as human beings. And to feel that you're meaningful. And that even though it may not be that meaningful for the child to help dry the lettuce, okay, you can do it yourself. Giving them the opportunity to participate and do grown-up-like things helps them. She sees her parents on the phone talking almost every day at 7:30. She calls me. She has my number memorized, okay? Because she got my answering service one time, and I heard the answering service, and she doesn't know that. She just hears me talking and this thing, and she says into the phone, John Gray, 415, and it says my whole phone number. This is a 2-year-old knowing my phone number, calling me, Gaga, Gaga, and then nothing to say. And I said, what do you want to tell me? Oh, Gaga, and then we hang up. It's very, very sweet. They just want to be doing adult things. And the more you can let them do adult things with you, the more the brain develops, as opposed to this brain shrinking by always telling children what they should do, when they should do it, and so forth. This is only a few pieces of the book, but it's very profound. But the thing we apply to relationships with men is don't give unsolicited advice.